We have seen some truly epic WWE returns over the past couple of years. But the question I get asked the most, who else do you want to return to WWE? So in this video, I'm going to look at top 10 of who I want to see back. And based on the most recent return of AJ Lee, I've got a very easy first answer for you. Of course I'm talking about Paige. I'd love to see Paige back in WWE. Paige obviously is Soraya in AEW. She has left AEW, so she is technically a free agent right now. But I do feel like AEW only scratched the surface of what's possible with Paige. And I think a return to WWE right now could be really, really fun. While Paige has wrestled some of the biggest names in WWE's women's division before, people like Becky Lynch have developed so far beyond what they were when Paige was there previously, it'll be great to see those rivalries run back. And surely it's not just me that one more time wants to see Paige versus AJ Lee. I mean, come on, it's got to happen, hasn't it? For multiple reasons, this is a match that a few years ago we would have thought would have never been possible. It is! Right now, it's very possible. So let's do it. Rikishi! I have no idea how this one has not happened yet, but I really do feel like it should. Now, I know Rikishi has a podcast. I know he's very outspoken, and it does turn a lot of people away from the idea of a Rikishi return, but it's still something I would love to see. I don't know if Rikishi would want to wrestle in 2025 or even 2026, and that's perfectly fine if he doesn't. He is like the dad to most of the Bloodline, right? So it would just be really cool to have Rikishi come in. And like, especially right now, we just turned Jey Uso heel, maybe. And that could be something interesting to bring in Rikishi to kind of drive Jey Uso, to give Jey Uso a little bit more purpose as a heel. Like, he's following the words of his father. He's doing it for himself, but for his Bloodline at the same time. I just feel like that would be such a cool little thing to do. And having Rikishi in a manager's role really wouldn't be a bad thing in my opinion. Indi Hartwell. Now this is a really interesting one because it's specifically for one story, and that story is the Wyatt Six member, Dexter Lumis, her former on-screen husband. Just imagine we get a full-blown feud between the Wyatt Six and DIY. And then Indi Hartwell comes back right in the middle of that feud, and then you play on the heartstrings of Dexter Lumis. You don't have to take Dexter out of the Wyatt Six or anything that radical, but you can tell a really interesting story and actually get under the skin and the depth of the character of Dexter Lumis as to why he's in the Wyatt Six with Indi's presence. Also, Indi has been killing it in TNA, and maybe if WWE have seen that, hopefully they'll utilise her a lot more than they did previously. It's exactly the same reason I want to see Jakara Jackson get another shot in WWE. Now TNA's Mara Sade has been absolutely killing it. Just look at this amazing moonsault she hit on Impact. In her relatively short time in TNA, it does feel like TNA's got that rocket ship strapped to her, and I'm really pleased for that. I really like Jakara Jackson, and I really like Mara Sade, and I really hope that this momentum continues, because I think we could be looking at a Drew McIntyre situation. Someone that WWE didn't see much in, going away, making a bigger name for themselves, to the point where WWE have to take notice. When I planned this video out, I was totally going to include Tyler Breeze, but Tyler Breeze actually did make his return last night on NXT, so I can't be doing that one. But while we're talking about recent news, have you heard the news? The Righteous is coming, apparently. According to some dirt sheet reports, The Righteous could be heading to WWE. Now that doesn't count as a return, however it allows me to use The Righteous to bring up Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Now, obviously, the hashtag We Want Kross, people are still posting it. There are still signs in the WWE audience. There's still a large portion of people that want to see Karrion and Scarlett back. And if the news is true that the Righteous are on their way to WWE, what better time to do it? What better time to return Karrion Kross and Scarlett and potentially pair them up with the Righteous? That could be really fun. I feel like that's something fans have wanted to see. We know that they were original members that Bray Wyatt wanted for the original incarnation of the Wyatt Six. Why not? Jon Moxley, the former Dean Ambrose. I would struggle to find a return list from any fan that doesn't include Moxley, right? And I feel like everyone has the same reasoning for it. They want to see what happens next with the Shield. There's so much history between this trio, and we don't know how much longer we got Roman Reigns for. So it's something that I don't know if we'll ever see play out, but you never know, man. It's wrestling. You never say never, and this is nothing more than a fantasy list. So I'm going to put Moxley on it. I would love to see Jon Moxley going up against Seth's Vision right now. I think that could be pretty fun. To see the dynamic between Mox and Roman Reigns, that could be very fun indeed. And hell, why not feud all three of them? We could do a Shield triple threat match. That would be fun. Out of everybody on this list, I do think that Jon Moxley is probably the most unlikely. However, never say never in WWE and never say never in pro wrestling. That is the golden rule. So, yes, I would love to see Moxley come back. Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys. Now, I do feel like there'll be some of you in the comment section saying, oh, this return would be tainted because, yes, we've already seen a big Hardy Boy WWE return before, and most recently, they have been on NXT. But this is my list, and I make the rules. So, the Hardy Boys being one of my favourite tag teams, they are on this list. I would love to see Matt and Jeff facing off against, like, the Wyatt Six. I think you can tell a really compelling story there with Matt's history with Bray. I wouldn't mind seeing the Hardy Boys versus DIY, but also most notably Hardy Boys versus Hills New Day. Hill New Day hasn't done too much since being Hills. I think this could be a really interesting, fun program for them to work. And yes, as I said, this is my list, my rules, so I'm counting the Hardy Boys as just one. Hey, you get an extra one. Stop complaining. Mustafa Ali, someone else who I really think was underappreciated in WWE. And yes, I appreciate we're really gutting the TNA roster tonight, but I'd love to see him come back. I think his recent work has been outstanding, and I wouldn't mind seeing that TNA character come over to WWE, but I'd love to also see the return of the Smackdown Hacker. I think that gimmick was literally so cool, and we only really scratched the surface of it. There's much more they could do. And I do think this current WWE would do a lot of justice for it. Bubba Ray Dudley. Yes, I'm aware he already does stuff with WWE, but I mean as an on-screen character, specifically the Bully Ray character. I really think there's a big gap in the market for Bully Ray. But I'm going to say have Bully Ray actually take a managerial role. I would love to see him manage someone on the roster. He is such a good promo, right? And when you look at someone like Paul Heyman, he's made a career out of being someone's mouthpiece. Bully Ray could do that for so many Hills. It could be really fun. Dustin Rhodes. Now, again, like Moxley, I don't think this one's ever going to happen. But I really would love to see it, even if it's after his wrestling career has finished. Having Dustin come in and having just one moment with Cody in WWE, it just has to happen. It's one of those moments which fans need to see. Cody at the top of his game with his brother by his side. It just, surely, that is perfection, isn't it? I'm totally not opposed to Dustin coming in and then hitting a low blow on Cody and saying I'm the better Rhodes, you know what I mean? Let's do that. Let's have an actual feud between the two in WWE and run it back. I'm okay with either way. This was actually a really difficult video to make because there's so many amazing superstars I'd love to see grace WWE one more time at least. But let me know your thoughts and who you want to see return in the comment section down below. There's no wrong answers. It could be literally anyone because that's the fun of fantasy booking and lists like this, isn't it? I'd really appreciate it if you are new to the channel, if you hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications. We'll be right back here on Friday for things you might have missed from WWE SmackDown. Of course, share the video, that way your friends can find it and come and have their say also. You can follow me on Twitter, @CWrestlingUK. Peace!